If you're a Taurus moon and you're using retail therapy to heal or help you move on from a breakup, you're better off going on a sewing spree or baking a bunch of bundt cakes for your friends than you are dropping a bunch of bread on material things that could never really fulfill you. No more shopping sprees. The moon in our charts shows us how we nurture ourselves emotionally. And if your moon is in Taurus, oh, that desire for material indulgence will be strong, honey. I know, especially if you feel a sense of emotional lack or scarcity. An emotionally unstable or vulnerable Taurus is probably the most susceptible of any sign to wrapping themselves in wanton, probably wasteful consumerism, most likely to overindulge in creature comforts. But Taurus, that will take you down every time. And honestly, this is the point of learning your birth chart to become more aware of your unique vulnerabilities and shadow tendencies so you can combine that awareness with the creative agency and free will that we all have to make different choices and take more conscious actions that can help us live more peaceful lives. Remember, we are not controlled by our birth charts unless we let ourselves be. However, all that said, you don't have to go to the extreme of denying or depriving yourself unnecessarily either when you're in a bad place, Taurus. Not one of Venus's babies. No. What does Taurus's sister Libra say? Balance. Yeah. So if you are going to make a monetary exchange to help yourself heal from heartbreak, then at least make it a meaningful purchase. Something that serves as an external symbol of your internal values. Remember, Taurus in the second house is about values. And people think that is monetary and financial, but it's really the internal values and how you reflect those and how those are reflected in your material world. For example, so I've been going through a devastating, very confusing breakup with a Gemini sun. And I was sad AF driving down Richmond when I saw a sign for big gay garage sale, parentheses, free jello shots. And because my Neptune rising makes me prone to ascribing big cosmic meaning to even my most mundane life experiences, I was like, bet, I'm going. I'm a pull up. My entire maternal line raised me on garage sales and thrift stores and resale shops and yard sales and all that. You stay with Auntie, you'll be circling addresses in the newspaper so we can get up and hit the garage sale circuit on Saturday morning. Yes, the whole house, absolutely. Honestly, it's a very controversial practice, even in my own family, because people like to turn their noses up and think they're too good to shop the secondhand market. But these places were the backdrop to some of my fondest memories as a child with some of the people who loved me most and who taught me so much. And shout out to my Auntie Jean and both my Auntie Betty's and my Big Ma. But beyond that, when I tell you that was exactly where my bougie ass Taurus moon needed to be, those garage sales were my training grounds, giving me some of my earliest lessons in discerning junk from real gems. So that sign for the big gay garage sale, parentheses, free jello shots, felt like a sign from the ancestral spirit realm. Absolutely. Like I said. And honestly, just beholding that whole tableau of wares and goods and whatnots was like letting out a sigh of relief in my spirit. Just pouring through the racks was soothing enough, honestly. I low-key got a chill just now thinking about it. Because honestly, for a Taurus moon, for my Taurus moon, it's like basking in the manifestation of our collective creative human potential. And like where us and nature combine. It's like someone thought about this. This was a thought in someone's head, and now I'm holding it. I'm wearing it. I'm looking at it. I'm literally standing in the middle of our wildest dreams come to life. That's how I feel going into it. Like, honestly, though, you know what it is? I also have Pluto in Scorpio opposite my Taurus moon. And I think it's the transmutation of it all that really gets me. Like, baby, in my eyes, you basically made something out of nothing, and that is magic. And I'm wowed. I'm impressed. And it would be my utter and absolute honor to bring it home to live with me. Oh my God. But yes, the person doing the big gay garage sale had such weird, odd, interesting things that some things I'd never even seen before. Ugh, I love queerness so much. It really lived up to its name. I did not get a jello shot, but it really lived up to its name. Not only did immersing myself in that Taurian environment help me take my mind off the sadness about the breakup, it actually started to shift my perspective. And I started to see how valuable the experience had been for my own growth and development and evolution. It was my first time dabbling in the alternative dating community with someone who was ethically non monogamous. And honestly, it was overall a really great experience. And I learned so much about myself and about others and about the world and people. So when I came across this little wooden pineapple bowl for like $3, I said, yeah, I'm gonna grab that. It was symbolic and like really represented something I really valued and treasured from that experience. So I figured it would be nice to have a little souvenir to go with the stories if I ever want to tell them. Another thing that became super clear to me in that relationship was that I'm such a goddamn lover girl, and it's not even funny. And as someone with their North Node in the third house and a Leo Venus in the eighth, I love me some public displays of intimacy. I do. Like some semi private romantic picnic in a well kept, publicly funded park. Big swoon, big swoon. I'm swooning. I really wanted to do that, but we never got a chance to do that. But I do honor and appreciate that adorable piece of insight about myself that the relationship gave me. Like, these are the kind of dates I want to have. So I had to cut the vintage plaid all season thermos picnic set. I feel like a lot of my 90s kids are going to appreciate how classico Americana this pattern is. It gives John Candy, late 80s, 90s Americana in a way. Despite my politics, which I hold dearly, I am still someone who grew up in America, and I do admit to having a soft spot for that kind of thing. I do. And I'm not even waiting for my next romantic relationship to use it. My Taurus moon is in the fifth house of children. And there's nothing that makes me happier and feels more healing for me than playing with and pouring into kids. So I will be using this on my next picnic date with my nieces and nephews and all my little nibblings. Anyway, like I said, if you're a Taurus moon and you're trying to boost yourself back up from a breakup, if you do find yourself skirting to a quick little sale real quick, make it a meaningful and thoughtful and measured purchase. Something that highlights and accentuates and affirms your non material values and allows you to almost externally pour back into yourself internally. And yes, Auntie Jean, I did haggle like you taught me. You and all my bonus moms raised me right. Y'all are all my moons. Ashe.